And welcome, as I said, to tonight's show. Can't wait to get it. Hey, listen, Paul, Mark and the Tech Guy, a discussion between three blokes in a podcast form radio show, talking everything community sports, current and controversial news, and, of course, the tech. And I'm looking forward to the tech man coming up, Julio. How you doing, Julio?
I'm really good tonight. It's been this weather's fantastic today.
Well, it's good to see Julio actually awake tonight, and we've woken him up because we've got a young bloke on the show tonight. So for us older blokes, we're just going to have to keep ourselves a little bit moving. So, Julio, don't need you dropping off there, mate, because we've got a young bloke going to really keep us on tonight. And Paul, why don't you introduce our great guest speaker all the way from Adelaide? He actually lives in Melbourne, but I don't think he's I think he's an import. We'll have to find out a bit about that.
Oh. We lost Paul.
Hang on. We've got. We do have a few technical issues, Dave, here tonight, mate. And
that's all right.
Paul,
do you want me to do? Do you want me to do a little bit of fill in for it? Because you were just commenting on my microphone, and I think we should compare microphones. What are we all using here?
Well, there's no doubt you got a better microphone.
Yeah, I got a little tiny thing. Just a little.
So have I come here with probably overkill? Have I?
You have, mate. You better introduce yourself. Tell us, who is Dave? Like, who are you?
Oh, who am I? Oh, just another Scotsman that's come over to Australia and, trying to cut mustard over here and in the employment space and, just do my thing, really. Yeah. Family man. Got 3 kids, beautiful little girls, Willow and Ayla and Raven, and basically everything I do in my life is all to try and make their lives better. So,
that sounds great, Matt. Now, what do you do for work, mate? What profession are
you? So I'm. Oh God, what do? I help people get jobs. Mark, I work for Frontline Human Resources, and I basically get people jobs and everything about them trying to keep a job as well. So. I'm an old-fashioned dirty recruiter that's worked very, very hard over the years, worked in a number of different organizations and worked in Aboriginal economic development, helping Aboriginal people run employment programs and, worked in, companies doing diversity and inclusion, consultancy. And now I'm running Frontline Human Resources, which is, a mid-sized organization across Australia. And we do recruitment in every state. We mainly work in the blue collar space, and we have labour hire division, and we've got an NDIS division, and we've got an apprenticeship division. So we do a lot of different things and try to make a lot of people's lives better through jobs.
Yeah, look, mate, we know you've climbed the corporate ladder and you're virtually up the top now, mate. But let's just go back to Scotland, where it all started. Tell us a bit about your life in Scotland and what motivated you to come down to Aussie.
It was wet.
bit too wet and cold for you over there?
Yeah, it was wet. I came across here and I saw the sun for the first time. I went, oh my goodness, I want to stay here forever. This is beautiful. So
you living in one of those castles over there, in a big castle next to one of those locks? Is that where you were sort of hanging out?
Mark, I was living in multiple castles over there. I had 5 castles, and I had a dragon. And, some knights and all sorts of things. But no, the reality was I come from one of the roughest cities on the planet, mate. I've had to tone my accent down because you fellas over here don't understand me very well when I talk too fast. But I'm from Glasgow originally. And I got brought over here because a woman broke my heart.
A woman broke your heart?
A woman broke my heart. She broke my heart. She. Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah, we better hear the story because you know Julio's woken up now. And he's
I don't know.
Hold
on. I don't know if my wife's listening to this. I hope she's not listening to this.
What was her name?
Do you know,
what's her name? Her name?
Her name was Kate. Kate Cargill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she broke my heart. So anyway, she decided that she liked my best mate more than she liked me.
Oh.
Okay. It's no good.
Oh.
And that led you to come to Australia?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm out here because we had all these mates and all these friends and everything like that. I was like, right, I'm out here. And I came across Australia and then I met my wife and then that was it. I stayed.
Well, you better tell us how you met your wife, mate. What happened? How'd you meet her?
Now we're in a big questioning light of my personal life. I thought this was going to be the employment program.
You want to know how you met your wife,
I'm clocking out now. I'm not clocking in. This is ridiculous. I didn't sign up for this. I was on it. Yeah. Blind date.
Blind date.
Yeah. This is a mad story. Blind date. So Sir Edmund Hillary, the first guy that was to climb Everest.
Yeah.
So I was out. So I got set up at a blind date, right? My friend got a phone call and it's like, can you go along to this blind date? He was like, no. So I was ringing number 2. So I got ringing number 2, right? So I go along to this blind date, and there's Jenny, my wife now. But she was there. She was invited along by her friend Kyla. But they had other friends at this table. It was a big fancy restaurant. I was a backpacker back then, right? We're going back 12 years ago. So I'm a backpacker. I had to borrow a shirt to go to the restaurant, right? I had to borrow a shirt. Can you imagine that? How embarrassing, a bloody shirt, right?
Typical Glasgow,
so all of a sudden, right? This go along to this dinner. It's in this fancy restaurant, high-end restaurant in Melbourne. And I was just thinking to myself, oh my goodness. So this other guy there is called Michael, right? Michael Hibbs, and he's made millions in the rag trade. He used to be into clothes and all that. His date was Sir Edmund Hillary's granddaughter, right? I know I love a tenuous link. You'll learn that by the end of the show. So I was sitting there with Sir Edmund Hillary's granddaughter, right? Me, Dave Barron, with my fucking backpack, and my borrowed shirt. And then this beautiful girl sitting across from me, Yenny, who was just, and I didn't know what I was doing there, guys. I had no idea what I was doing. But you fast forward a bit of time and everything worked out. But I tell you what, when the bill came, I had to go upstairs and phone my mum and get her to transfer some money to me because I didn't have any money to pay for it.
Oh no.
Well, there you go. You see, it's just a story of your life, Dave. You always land on your feet, mate. And I know you've, as I said before,
a cheeky Scotsman.
Ladder.
So it's all very exciting, but
I just want to know, Dave. I know you've sort of got to the, you're quite established now. You've got the, quite established in the house. You've got the fancy lifestyle, this and that. But you are a man about town, and but still you've got a heart for others. Where'd you get the heart from your others? Is that from your mother, or where'd that come from?
Yeah, I guess it is from my family. Yeah, I mean, my dad and my mum, they had a pharmacy when we were growing up, and my dad's just an inspiration. He's just such a kind-hearted person, and the same with my mum as well. And I guess it flows through our family, just people that like to look after people. And working in the health services in the UK is not easy, and you only do that really if you actually care about giving back to people. So it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. And I don't know how I managed to carve my way into the employment space, but do you know what? I was coming up to this show and I was thinking to myself, why do I actually do what I do? I have no idea. And I was analyzing a little bit, but that scene that we saw and this is topical as well because the Olympics is coming up. Remember in Tokyo when we saw that Australian swimming coach? I don't even know what his name is. You guys might know his name. And you saw his celebration. He was just going absolutely nuts and he was just over the moon. I just love other people to feel like that. And I think that when you tell them the news on a Friday afternoon that they've got their dream job or they've been given an opportunity, you just sense that feeling of excitement and just and happiness that runs through that person. And I think that's really why I do the job that I do, is because I know how much it can change someone's life.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. And hey, we just want to say hi to Let's Rock with James. He's just jumped on the comments there. That's awesome, mate, because I actually spoke to a guy today, and the smiles on the dials, completely change when you give them an opportunity and just welcome them into a workforce and stuff like that. But, mate, you great people making, putting smiles on their dials. But is that it? Is it go beyond that? Like, what's the next step?
Oh, what's the next step? I mean, from a society level, it's pretty awesome to see as well. I mean, I've done a lot of work in Shepparton, for instance, with the Rumballara Football and Netball Club, and what Paul Briggs, or Uncle Paul as he's known in that the community and region, is just nothing short of fascinating to see someone contribute 30-40 years of their working life towards making other people's lives better, and the economic output from that and the return to the region is just phenomenal. I remember Paul telling me a story, and going through a lot of work with him where he was saying when he was growing up in the mission up at Cumraganja there, he was 80% of the Aboriginal people in Shepparton were unemployed and 20% were employed, and now as of a couple of years ago it's actually swung the other way around, so that 80% of Aboriginal people in that region are employed and 20% aren't. And that is the power of strong leadership and strong commitment in the region, and those jobs contribute. People don't, the smile on the dial is one thing, but you don't realize what bringing money into household can can do and how powerful it is. That all it takes is for one person to earn in these environments, and it changes the whole entire house. It puts a roof over our head and food on the table, and we get lost in the modern world with plasma screens and cars and all the rest of it. But the reality is that these jobs are changing people's lives out there, and everyone as a whole benefits from it. You look at what that community does, and it's not just the Aboriginal people that get benefits from this, and it's not just those community members. It's actually everyone as a whole, the community, the GRP, gross regional product, and the community stronger because of it. So that is at a macro level. That's another reason why I do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no,
Do you want me to go back and talk about renting, borrowing shirts and all the rest of it, or do you want me to say?
Well, I was going to actually ask Julio about whether he had a blind date. Julio, you had a blind date yourself, mate, or?
Yes, ages ago. That was quite a long time ago. I had a blind date, so it wasn't as dramatic as Dave's one. My one was basically I rocked up to a friend that needed help with a date that he had, so I was like the second partner involved, and I ended up pretty much drinking a bit too much that night and not getting to see a second date at all. So that was my blind date.
Well, it sounds like you're not going to get married to that date there, Julio.
No.
Now, Paul, what about you, mate? Sorry,
no, mate, no blind dates from my end, but it is 98.9 Northwest FM, so I don't know. Anything's possible, right? The phones aren't ringing, guys, just to let you know. But coming up at 7:32, we've got 7 around 7, so don't go anywhere. We're talking with the great Dave Barron, GM of Frontline Human Resources. And look, you're a pretty talented character there, mate. I mean, you change shirts of different colours. You go on all these blind dates. And I hear there's a rumour that used to run an American BBQ joint here in Australia. But we'll come back to that a little bit later. But don't get away because there's lots more happening. Mark, I haven't been on a blind date, but I tell you what, I'm keen to not do it. Okay, so if that makes any sense.
Well, to be honest, Paul, I do love Dave's passion. His passion for people, his passion for community. Dave, I just want to know, mate, what keeps you up at night? Like, I know you're a very motivated, driven guy. So what sort of things are you thinking about during the night?
Oh, God, what are the things?
It's an interesting question.
During the night. That's a very interesting question. Last night I was thinking about this tender that was coming up today, but I don't know. A lot of it is work based, isn't it? Like things that I think about. I should. My wife was telling me the other day that I need to learn how to switch off a little bit more, because I do spend a lot of the time in the evening thinking about, work and work related things and how I can help set up different programs. And I've got a bit of an entrepreneurial mind, like a little bit, like I'm not like an Elon Musk type character that's just completely lost it, but someone that's a bit more grounded, that can take little bites of little things that are achievable. I don't want to send any rockets into Mars, or maybe I do. Maybe there's some jobs out there for that, but it's late night thinking is work related.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just jumping in there, mate, but just to frame around that, if you do it like you're busy during the day, right? But it's all about, you need to process and have that time where you can just sort of switch off and think about certain things. But unfortunately, it comes into the after hours time, doesn't it? I mean, what else can we do?
We're working in my space as well. You're a people shepherd, aren't you? Really, at the end of the day, you're out there dealing with people, and people are human beings are animals at the end of the day, and they've got their own minds and the way of doing things. And half the time I spend at night is working out different strategies and mechanisms to manage the situations that are upon me. We're dealing with some pretty significant things. I've got people that have got issues with the legal system. I've got significant issues with the law and significant issues with the relationships, and there's a number of different things out there that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. You're dealing with people that get injured on site. There's people that hurt themselves, and there's significant damage to themselves, and you have to balance that all up, and try your best to manage those situations for them, because that's what they deserve.
Yeah, we've got Dave on the phone here online tonight. So if you want to make a comment, we'd love to hear from you. If you know Dave, say good day to him. If you don't know Dave, you want to get to know him.
If you want,
he is married, by the way, but still make sure you can say good day to him. We'd love to hear from people tonight. Tell us about your favourite job, or if you've been on a blind date, we'd love to hear about all that. But Dave, I know you and I have been talking a bit about young people and youth suicide and the crime rate and all the issues facing young people. And I know you think employment is part of the answer, don't you?
Oh, it's one of the main drivers towards a healthy output from young people, in a sense of my thing is around decision making with young people. A lot of some of the issues that we see in society is around the decision making that the young people have, and I think it's a lot easier to make decisions when you have a purpose in life. And I believe that employment gives you that purpose, or it's part of one of the things that gives you that purpose. Family, employment, aspirations, dreams, all these things. They make up, all these 1%ers make up 100%. And I'm very, very passionate in the employment space, but they all work hand in hand with other things. What I generally like to see though is upskilling young people. I'm very, very passionate about apprenticeships and traineeships and people in the vocational educational sector, because a lot of those people come from different walks of life that are, they've experienced significant disadvantages and things during their time. So very passionate in that space, and will do whatever I can to help young people progress in life. And I like to put a call out to everyone else as well, as everyone's just got to remember we got to treat people with a bit of leniency when they're young, because they're not as developed or as long in the tooth as us old fuddy-duddies. And the reality is we were young too once, and someone gave us a chance, and we've got to be in a situation where we pass it on. It's our duty as a society and as a community to pass it on to the younger generation, because if we don't, no one will.
And have you sort of had mentors or people in your life that sort of help guide you or guide you today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've had heaps of mentors. I mean, you know one of them very well. Jan McCalman, that now works with me. She's mentored me over the years as well. She's also taught me how to drink a lot of red wine, which is a danger. I've had my parents as well, and I've had other mentors through the things. It's an interesting concept, the mentoring thing, isn't it? Because it's a very personalized experience having a mentor. You've really got to gel with someone. You've got to click. You've got to have that relationship that I feel like the majority of my mentors, I would call them friends. They're just a little bit older than me, and have got more scars than I do, and I can get less scars because they're teaching me how to not get them.
But how do you do it though? You're a Scotsman, right? So what do? You just go out there and launch out and go, hey, how you doing?
Oh, mate, you are absolutely. Hi, you nailed it. You get your kilt on, get your bagpipes out, and you go tooting around. No, do you know what? Scottish people are very well received over here, thankfully, in Australia. So it's always been an avenue that's opened up a lot of opportunities for me, which is kind.
Dave, sorry, just let me cut in there. Are you all like that in Scotland? Are you all like you?
No way. No, we're better looking and funnier than this guy. It happens.
All right, go on.
Yeah. You should. Have you ever been? Have you ever been? Have you guys ever been to Scotland?
I haven't.
Yeah, I've been to Edinburgh and I've been to Glasgow and I've been to a few of these locks and seen a few of those castles. I saw your castle where you sort of lived over there.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, great place. It does rain a bit. It's not the warmest place in the world, but it was fantastic. I loved Edinburgh, mate.
What did you try in the food scene over there? Because I know that you're desperate to find out about this barbecue, Scottish American Australian barbecue conversation. What culinary delights did you find in Scotland in your travels?
Haggis. Is that haggis?
Well, I had some haggis. Yeah, I had some haggis.
Any other succulent morsels out there? Haggis? Any other?
I don't think we're eating any people over there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of people buried in the ground because in Scotland they bury people on top of people. It seems like if you dig too deep, you just go through a whole lot of graves and whatnot.
You couldn't imagine anything worse. You couldn't imagine anything worse, couldn't you? Being put up with someone for 40 years of your life and moaning and nagging at you, and then all of a sudden you got to spend an eternity with them.
Look, lovely place, Scotland. Lovely place, Scotland.
And unfortunately, the lucky one gets the top bunk as well. It's not.
That's true.
So Mark's not answering your question though, Dave or Julio. But so what are some of the culinary delights there in Edinburgh or Glasgow? Come on, tell us. Where is he?
Well, you were just talking about it, Julio. You were just talking about square sausage, weren't you? So tell me about because that square sausage, that is a thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
I can't use words to describe it, but I will. Delicious. Actually, just one delicious. Right?
Delicious.
Square sausage is fantastic, right? And it's not about the shape; it's just the flavor. It's just fantastic. But what was your experience of square sausage?
Well, I'll tell you what. When my heart stopped for a little while there, as much as one didn't want it to. There was, I think it was a 50-50 cut between fat and meat and salt. I think 30% of it was salt, but we'll get.
Oh, really? Is there anywhere in Melbourne we can pick that up?
There is actually. There's what's his name? Rob's Butchers in Dandenong.
That's right.
Get square sausage. Shout out to Rob. Yeah, he's
Rob, if you're listening, give us a call. We want to hear from you.
Mate, that guy knows his way around a banger or two. I tell you, he's got some fantastic bangers in his shop.
Yeah, blood pudding as well. I had some blood pudding.
Oh yeah, blood pudding.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, do all you Scottish people get together? Do you have a bit of a sort of a coming together of all the Scotsmen in Melbourne, or what?
Oh yeah. Part of a big expat community over here. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, every once in a while you'll see a ceilidh pop up, which is a Scottish dance. They do them at Robert Burns Night. That's in January. I've got a lot of Scottish friends. We all moved out here after the GFC because it was so rubbish back home. It's a lot of us moved out here during then, and I guess there's a wave of Scottish people before that as well that have moved out here. So it's pretty big community actually of Scottish people.
Now, apart from meeting your wife here in Australia, mate, what else do you like about Australia?
Oh, do you know what? I just think that it's the opportunity, mate. I think Australia is like the American Wild West. You could go out and create whatever you want to do in this country. It's so open. It's so people are so kind over here, and people really want to help you out, in business, and they want to work on creating opportunities and that. I'm not saying Scotland's not, but the UK, it's very much more of a rat race, whereas over here people are a bit more collaborative in their approach to success, and I think that's one of the big reasons from my job perspective, that I've noticed. Other than that, the sunshine's pretty good. I love the fact that everyone takes their kids to sports. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
young, healthy kids doing sports. How good is that? That's just a fantastic thing. I mean, bloody hell, we're all smoking darts and drinking beers by the time we're 8 in Scotland. So,
well, Dave, you must be a fit bloke because you are supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a mentoring program in Melbourne, and you're going to walk the Larapinta Trail up there in.
Mate, that is right. I am so excited about this. This is a bucket list item for me. I could not be any more excited than I currently am. Last year, I did the Melbourne Marathon. I managed to raise, I think it was just about $3,000 for the Royal Children's Hospital. So our little one, unfortunately, Ayla, was in the Royal Children's Hospital for the best part of a year. And that is world-class service. That hospital and the people that work in that hospital are saints. They are absolutely incredible. And a massive shout out to absolutely everyone involved in running these institutions and that hospital. So we managed to raise some money there. This year, my thing that I'm doing to give back is I've signed up to the Larapinta Trail. And I don't know what that's going to do to my body, but I really don't care. It's about raising the money, and we're going to do that together, aren't we, Mark? I think you're going as well, Julio, aren't you?
Julio, you coming? Julio's coming, and if you want to join Julio, Mark, and Dave on the Larapinta Trail, just get on the Big Brothers Big Sisters website, Big Brothers Big Sisters Australia website. Click on the Larapinta, and you might be able to share I don't know whether you can share a tent with Dave, but you can certainly share the walk with him.
Well, I was just about to say, rather than my shirt, I'll have to borrow a cork hat, won't I? Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that? What is that?
Is it not one of these things to keep the flies off you?
Yeah.
Oh, like a cork hat. Cork hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What'd you call it? What'd you call it again?
It's a cork. You have to be very careful on radio how you say that. Isn't it? Cork hat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Great.
And how are you
That's
feeling
right.
about the walk, Coolio? You in fit, mate? You're going to get up those mountains?
I'm slowly getting there. I reckon I'll be able to do it all right. I'm more worried about you. I might have to bring some haggis just to keep you going there for a little while.
Some haggis.
I'm going to need
Love it.
something. I'm going to need something. How come
Love it,
Paul's
sir.
not coming on this walk?
Nah,
Paul,
too
how
busy,
come you're not
mate.
coming on the walk?
Too busy, mate, running catering for Social Engine. So,
Social Engine. Oh,
So,
yeah.
725, 98.9 Northwest FM. It's Paul, Mark, and the Tech Guy show. We've got an awesome guest there, Dave Barron, tonight, chatting. But listen, let's just put the trailer to a side. Hey, Julio, maybe we can put it up on the screen there, a little bit about the trial, the date or whatever, or how they can get involved. But, mate, Dave, I'm interested in this, you running the American BBQ joint here in Australia, and you're a Scotsman, for goodness sakes. What is it? Tell us about it.
Oh, I went when I was 21, back in the early 2000s. I went around a load of states. So that was my thing. That was my big, I've university now and just finishing that, and then coming out there into the world and wanted to go traveling instead of Europe or Australia. I picked the States because I was just fascinated with the culture. Everything was big, everything was loud. I'm loud, and I just was really keen on it. So I went over there and toured around a number of different states. I think it was like 30 or 40 states or something. That was pretty ridiculous. Planes, trains, automobiles, all that kind of carry on. And when I got into the deep south, like Texas, and I actually came across barbecue for the first time when I was out there, and it was like just a cultural phenomenon that I'd never experienced before. And I was already working hospitality. I was like, oh, that's incredible. So I just had this moment at that time, and it's just, wow, this is fascinating. Nice. And all the rest of it. And anyway, I came back and carried on with my many different kind of jobs that I did through university and after university, and trying to find myself and just being a bit of a larrikin. And it wasn't until I was over here, and it was after I borrowed my mate's shirt and went on this date, and I realized that I was on a working holiday visa, and my wife's Austrian, so she was in a situation that she couldn't sponsor me as well to be over here. So me being me, I just managed to find a loophole in the law at that time with the visas, and I managed to open up my own business to sponsor myself as an employee through that business. I probably shouldn't have talked about this on the radio, but I did whatever I could to stay with her. And I think that if the love police are out there, they can arrest me right now and kick me off. But I'm a citizen now, so it's all good.
Sounds good, mate.
I set that up, and I thought, all right, I got this business to set up, and I chose American BBQ. It was the first thing I thought of. I was just like, I just remember this experience. So I built a smoker in my backyard, and I went down to my mate that had a pub, and I got the smoker and I put it outside his pub, and I started cooking meat, and one thing led to another, and 3 years later I had 10 full-time staff, and I was running a restaurant. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. Sounds great. Well, coming up around the corner is around 7. And I want to ask Dave a few questions around the American BBQ, because I think he's really focused on that, so the tastes and the profile of American BBQ. Right, Dave? Are you in? You in after a song? Yeah. So 98.9. Don't go to where Julio, because we've got also Julio, the tech guy, coming up just before the end of the show. We always leave Julio to the last, but the tech guy's got a great segment tonight, and also topical comments. But don't go anywhere, because there's lots more coming up in this hour here on 98.9. We'll see you shortly. We're going to go with a song, Aretha Franklin. That'd be pretty cool, I think. Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves here on 98.9 Northwest FM.
And what are we going to do, Julio? We got Chris has just said g'day to us. So g'day, Chris. Good to have you on the show again, mate. And so how are we going to fill in our time while Paul's in the studio playing a bit of music?
At the moment, going to be a bit of a show about Larapinda, what everybody's missing out on if they don't go. So,
oh yeah, hey, look at that, Dave. That's going to be great, isn't it? That's going to be you and me, mate. Can we have another look, Julio?
Yeah, sure.
Is that a sunrise or a sunset, do you reckon? Is that a sunrise?
Oh, good
How can you tell? How can you tell?
That's true. You can't from the
picture. Well, hopefully it's sunset, mate, because I don't want to get up in the morning and watch the sunrise like that. Like, that's going to be pretty early. Although I think
you'd have to be walking through the night to see it rise like that, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah, you would.
That looks like a torch on her head there. So I reckon that's a sunrise.
Yeah.
True. Oh, that's going to be nice seeing that as well. I can't wait.
Look at this. Look how clear that
Where
water
are we going, Chris? We're going in July. What's the date, Dave? It's about 26th of July.
26th.
Yeah,
Yep.
26th. Yeah, that's right.
The big nice signs in there.
Yeah. The Big Brothers, Big Sisters walk at Larapinda. We've still got a couple of spare spots, Julio. So we're wanting to get a couple more people. Now that they know Dave and Julio are going, I tell you what, that's going to be amazing.
Yep. Oh, sorry. There you go. Dates are for the 24th to the 8th of July.
24th, 28th of July.
Yep. In Australian Northern Territory Outback. So looking forward to all that. It'll be good to be with you.
I wonder who's going to get up the mountain first, Julio or Dave?
I reckon Dave will beat me. I've got to carry you, remember? So I've got to make sure you survive the whole trip. So half the time I'll be carrying you.
So, are you going to do the cooking, Dave?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Actually, Julio's a bit of a cook as well. You and Julio could do the cooking.
So
this is interesting. So Julio, what is your favorite type of cuisine? What do you cook?
I like Spanish food. So I like paella, chorizo, open fire, nice open fire mushrooms with some tomato and garlic mixed in. So that sort of stuff.
I need to eat dinner before I come on the show next time, don't I? Starving.
Hey, Chris wants to know whether you still run the restaurant or not. Well, it looks like there's Chris.
No. Unfortunately, no. Sorry, Chris, I don't. No. I'm out the restaurant game for about 7 or 8 years now. Yeah. I'll let you know if I open one up, though.
Yeah.
He's getting back into it. He supports Social Engine Australia. We do a lot of catering and. That's actually a good point. Maybe the next time we have one of these barbecues, he can pop down to the M80 project and see my tongue skills. That I've been boasting about.
That's it. They're going to be challenging Paul there. He's pretty good with the tongues himself. So
I think we should probably have a tongue off.
You should
see who can turn the most amount of sausages in 60 seconds. What do you reckon?
That's true. Yeah, that sounds good. maybe enjoy by checking a few patties in there and go from there.
Oh yeah.
So David, at home, mate. So David, at home, do you do any of the cooking, mate, or what? What goes on there?
I do all the cooking at home. Mark, I do all the cooking. Yeah, absolutely everything. Yeah. So I've been a cook for a long time. I find it relaxing. Just to stand around cooking, chopping stuff, making things. I like the process. I find it's like meditation to me. Inside my head, like when I'm not cooking, it's just screaming constantly all day, every day, and then cooking. Just
if we're coming around for dinner, mate, what are you cooking if we come around for dinner?
I don't know. What do you like? What kind of things do you like?
Risotto or you do risotto?
Risotto's dinner porridge.
Yes.
Risotto. Who picks risotto?
Mark does. There you go.
Well, like chicken risotto or a bit of chicken.
Yeah, chicken risotto. We'll have to check with Paul. We're coming into the show now. He's going to rejoin us. He's listened to his little song, and we're going back there, and we'll have to see what we're going to eat. And the Larapinda Trail on the 24th of July up there. Don't forget, you can join us on the Larapinda. Dave, Julio, Mark are going walking. I'll be at the back. Marinara. Tina wants marinara, so she's actually not a bad cook either. So I'll tell you what, it's a lot of cooks on the show tonight, Paul.
There is indeed. Well, we were enjoying the great sounds of Aretha Franklin while you guys are talking about marinara sauce. Well, how could you leave me out of it? What's going on here? Welcome back here to the cooking show. But you got all sorts of titles there, Marcus. You got the love show, you got the blind date show, you got the cooking show. What's happening here tonight? Here at 98.9.
That's it.
Hey, we're
Mark.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was just saying. Well, Mark was just talking about.
Another good cook's joined us. Gloria's joined us on. She's a great cook as well. Gloria, g'day, Gloria. How you going?
Hey guys, hi boys. Hi mate. Go, Dave. Yep.
I was just saying, Mark kindly invited himself over to my house for dinner, and I've got to cook for him now. But he picked. He said he could have had any. Yeah, I said to him, "What's your favorite?" He could have had anything. Like, you know, he could have had lobsters. He could have had, you know, like flambéed, you know, langoustine. Or this guy wants risotto. Yeah. Like, dinner porridge. All right.
That's it.
Well, it's one you know.
We might even spice up by putting a bit of chicken and some rocket in there.
A bit of pepper. Bit of pepper. Bit of
beautiful Parmesan cheese. You know.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you know the best thing with risotto as well?
Tina's bringing the wine, so there you go.
Tina's bringing the wine, the risotto.
Oh, thanks, Tina. Thanks, Tina. I love wine.
Everyone's loving the food. I wonder what else people like to eat out there. What do you suggest, Dave, make me for dinner? We've got marinara. Any other suggestions? Italian carbonara, okay. From Chris. What else? What would you want to have, Paul?
I wouldn't mind trying that square sausage. Let's go for it. The square snag. Wrapped in a bit of spinach. What do you reckon?
There you go, Christopher.
Healthing it up. What have we got there? What's Chris saying? An Italian original
carbonara.
Yeah, beautiful. That's it. Well, it's a great segue to the next segment. It's called Top 7 Things Not to Do When Eating American Barbecue, Dave. Now, I'm going to get you involved because obviously your background there, but also I want to hear from Marcus and from the tech guy. But so here are the top 7 things not to do when enjoying the delicious cuisine, American barbecue. Now, I had to research it because I read your bio, and it was like, you know, you've owned a restaurant. All right. So number 1 is overlook the sides. Now, would that be true, Dave? So what not to do is overlook the sides, because the American barbecue isn't just about the meat, but it's also about the sides. What sort of sides did you offer in the business, in your restaurant?
I completely disagree with that. I think you should take anything that's a vegetable, stick it in the bin, and eat the meat.
Okay, you're one of those guys. All right, fair enough. Yep.
Mum always read the same thing. Is basically ask for the vegan menu.
Ask for the vegan. Okay, there you go. Okay, ask for the vegan. Well, we could go down to the next. We can analyze that. Number 2, what here out of this 7 things not to do when enjoying delicious cuisine: neglect the barbecue sauce. So a good barbecue sauce can elevate your meal, whether it's tangy, sweet, or spicy. Make sure that it's slather it on your meats. So lots of layers. Is that right, Dave?
This kills me. This kills me. Our barbecue sauce in the restaurant, which we made fresh like all the time, the punters loved it. They love barbecue sauce. Everyone loves it, and because people love it, the masses love it. I have to tolerate it. So. It makes people happy, and that makes me happy. Do I put my sauce on my barbecue? No.
Ooh, okay.
Big no. I want to taste the meat. I want to taste the beautiful quality of the meat. You know, I want to taste the fact that it's a Hereford cow that's been raised just outside of Echuca. You know, it's been raised on horseback. It's never been scared. There's no adrenaline in the meat whatsoever. You know. Happy meat is tasty meat.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. What about forget about chicken wings?
I love chicken wings. Chicken wings are amazing, man.
All right. Can't forget about chicken wings. Absolutely. What are the top 7? So number 4, underestimate burnt ends. So burnt ends are tender cubes of brisket coated in barbecue sauce and caramelized to perfection. Is that right? So you cannot do that?
Yeah, the burnt ends are the best bit. They're the best bit. They're the unicorn of barbecue. If you can get some great burnt ends, it puts food on another level. So when you're if you're ever lucky enough to go to Texas or Carolina or any one of these places, ask them at the counter for burnt ends, and it's a different experience. It's something new.
Now, Paul, we've got a couple of comments here, mate. We've got a comment from Gloria and Christopher. We should about the special barbecue recipe. Dave, what about the special barbecue recipe?
There's a lot of people that come up with all these different fancy rubs and sauces and spices and methods and all the rest of it. I am a big believer in using the best quality meat you can get your hands on and salt and pepper. That's all you need.
Well, Chris wants to know whether you're going to smoke it for 12 hours.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of the times vary depending on fat content. If you're doing different cuts of meat, say the holy grail is obviously Texas style smoked brisket. If you can get that cooked, you know what you're doing. And, different briskets cook different times, depending on the size, the shape of them, the fat content. So it can last up to 12. It can even go up to 16 hours, depending on how long it takes. So we used to have a pit smoker or two pit smokers going through the night, smoking up the briskets for the following day.
I've got a question for you there with Dave with the brisket. Is what do you consider the best thickness for a brisket?
What do you think the best thickness is? Oh, yeah. Can I show?
Yeah, no, that's the thicker. Yeah, the better.
I know in the radio that's really difficult to describe, but I'm highlighting about. I would say about 5 centimeters there.
Yep.
I reckon.
Yeah. Dave, what about Gloria's invited us for a roast. What about a roast dinner at your place? What do they like at your place?
Oh, beautiful. Well, my wife's Austrian, so yeah, she knows her way around a pork knuckle.
Oh, nice.
Pork knuckle. With the crackling, like that. German Austrian style. That crackling, and then a little bit of the sauerkraut on the side with some of that the caraway seeds and a bit of speck running through it. Oh,
yeah.
All right, mate. Number 6. Can we dismiss the baked beans? Can we dismiss the beans?
Yeah, send them back.
Get rid of it. Get rid of the beans to send them back home.
Send them away.
All right. So number 7. So the top 7 thing you're not to do when enjoying a delicious cuisine or American barbecue is to ignore the cornbread. Did you have cornbread?
Yes, we made it fresh every day. Yeah,
that'd be nice. I'd like to try your naturals.
Yeah, we made a jalapeno and sour cream cornbread that was just phenomenal. If anyone wants the recipes, reach out. I'm more than happy to share them now that we're no longer trading.
No, fantastic. Nice. Well, there you go. There's your top 7 tonight on the Paul, Mark, and the Tech Guy show with David Barron. Great having him on board, and very insightful sort of character. Very cheeky Scotsman, I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think. What do you think, Mark? Yeah, Julia?
Well, I think food gets people pretty excited, Paul. Like yourself, you're a foodie as well, Paul.
Mate, love American barbecue. Love food. Love the Asian stuff that's going on at the moment.
So Paul, what American?
Have you tried Lebanese?
Sorry, Paul. What American barbecue? Yeah.
So I've done sort of the Aussie version of Houston barbecue out of Keele.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of those guys. Yeah.
No, I've heard of them. Are they good?
Yeah, very good. Excellent. And it's only a small amount. So when I say small amount, you need to be early, you need to be quick. Get in there, they're done by midday sort of thing. So it's absolutely juicy. Jump onto their Instagram page, check them out. And also the guys out at the casino, obviously they were one of the earlier ones.
Oh, Bloods, yeah, Bloods, yeah. Have you tried Blue Bonnet Barbecue? Chris Terlica? He's got Blue Bonnet
I haven't.
No. Yeah.
Where are they situated?
He started up roughly the same time as I did, and we were enemies for a long time in business. But that guy only because that guy knows how to cook. He knows how to cook.
Dave, tell me the truth, mate. Dave, tell me the truth, mate. You were so good at this American barbecue stuff, an expert, the best in the country. Why'd you give it up for?
Oh, a young family. It's hard. The restaurant gig's hard, man. Low like this. It's hard. You especially when you're someone like me. Like I've got to be in the restaurant with the punters, having a good time, entertaining, having drinks with them. If you do that for 3 years, you get pretty destroyed. So the wife said it's me in the restaurant.
There you go.
We've still got the roast dinner. It looks like we're going to get a roast dinner at Dave's place, Paul. So that's going to be good. And Gloria is going to make us a roast as well. So we've scored a bit tonight.
That sounds very exciting. I tell you what, let's go to a break. Another song. I think we need to cut it. Yeah, because I'm starting to get hungry. I might just run out to the local barbecue guy just around the corner through ad break. We'll be back very shortly, but we want to talk about Collingwood game. Now, who watched it? Are you a football man, Dave, or are you sort of...
Not that shape of football.
Oh, here we go. All right. Well, anyway,
not that shape of football.
Shape of footy.
Yeah,
but coming up after...
I can tell you once you come back, I can tell you a funny story of me trying to play it.
All right.
So, actually, I managed to practice it with the Rumble Hour Football Club, and it didn't go very well.
Nice. There you go.
All right, done. Well, we'll be back with Dave Barron and Paul, Mark, and the tech guy shortly. Lots more coming up your way. I've still got the tech guys doing a session just before we clear out of here at 8 o'clock. Got 13 or so minutes left in the show. Hope you're enjoying the show, and thank you so much for the commentary. Continue on, and I want the cornbread recipe, Dave. I'm definitely keen for that one. I want to give it a go. We'll be back. I'm going to go to a break, and we'll see what song we're going to go with. Here we go. Here on 98.9.
So what are we going to do, Julio? We got a little video or anything, or what are we up to?
No, not today. Sorry, Mark. I've been a little bit long, so I can slice it down quick enough.
No,
So
that's all right. I've got to ask Dave a few more questions and see what he's on about. Now, Dave, what about you, mate? Like, how old are you?
38.
38. So you're a young fella, mate. Now, what do you think going to be in 10 years' time? What does the life of Dave Barron look like? What do you want to achieve? What's your goals? Where are you heading, mate?
I don't know. It depends if I don't maybe have an American BBQ restaurant again. I don't know. It depends on how I go with my marriage. I don't know. But no, the reality is, I don't know. I think I can see myself still working in the same space I'm working in now. I just love helping people. I'm looking at setting up a couple of different ventures at the moment in this space, so that would help. I guess one thing I've noticed is a lot of the organizations I've worked with, a lot of community organizations, a lot of not-for-profits, a lot of businesses out there that have to go out and I guess get money from the government to help real critical services inside communities. They don't necessarily have a huge amount of capacity and capability to do the tendering process or strategically know how to get those critical funds to the front line. And I'm working on a little bit of a project in the background called You Know Who, where we're doing a no-win, no-fee tendering service. So we're going to help organizations out and get them critical funding to help run their businesses and to build their capability. And that's a little project I'm working on.
Yeah, so important, mate. I run a few not-for-profits, and funding's our number one, number two, number three problem. And so help from blokes like yourself is really good. And partnering and working together. Partnering is the key, isn't it, Dave? It's bringing people together to solve a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, partnering, collaboration, working together. It's very hard to a lot of the good work you do over the years, finding like-minded people, and you have what I call riffing with them. You have a riff, you start jamming together, you start melting some ideas around, and out of those conversations, eventually something pops up that's actually worthwhile and people want to invest in or have a look at, and my biggest concern at the moment is I've never seen a situation in Australia in the time that I've been here over the last 12 years where I've seen funding at a low level like this. I mean, every opportunity for a lot of community organizations at the moment is just closed. There's not much out there. And if anyone is listening at the moment that's got any pull in the government, you need to start spending some money in these services. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people that are falling through the cracks. So get on with it.
Yeah, and I think, if you've got a company, get behind a good cause. It's good for everyone. Like Dave's a great role model, supporting a charity like Big Brothers Big Sisters or Social Engine. There's some great work going out there. A lot of different organisations doing good work. So support someone. I think it's so important to get involved in the community, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's the only way of giving back, really. If you want to be involved, I mean, a lot of people make financial donations here, there, and everywhere, but and it's needed and it's appreciated. But if you really want to care for people around you and you really want to get involved, then there's people that need that support on your doorstep. You just need to get active in your community and find out what the issues are and how you can address them and speak to people, and that's how we've worked together, Mark, isn't it? We crossed paths because of a similar situation, and now I've signed up to Big Brothers Big Sisters to become a mentor. I believe one of your colleagues has already got me a match as well. That's a young person that I'm going to be spending some time with and helping them develop in their life and what makes them tick and help them out. And it's an important thing to do.
And Julio, isn't it great that a young bloke like Dave, full of energy, is going to be a mentor and help young kids, 8, 10, 12-year-old young boy, going to have Dave as a mentor. Life-changing, don't you reckon?
It is. I reckon that it's a great thing you're doing, Dave. And also anybody that gets involved in that program is fantastic because I don't think it just helps the child, it helps yourself because it gives you either this extra, oomph in life about understanding where you are and the actual help you can give others. So it's a great thing.
That is,
Dave,
it is.
I'm wondering. Sorry, mate. I'm just wondering. I'm a bit older than you, but I wouldn't mind some reverse mentoring from you. What do I need to do to get ready for the Larapinta walk, 4-day walk? And what's your advice for someone like me to be able to walk for 4 days?
Do a bit of training. Make sure that you're confident before you go in. Like the last thing you want to do is not have the confidence, because a lot of these things, when it's about challenging your body and all the rest of it, is a mindset more than anything else, and it's having that belief in yourself that you can do it. So, that's the same with when I ran my marathon last year and all the other kind of marathons and things I've done over the time. And it's about knowing that you can almost get to that level and knowing you can push yourself and having the confidence in it. Just before you do the training, you're running 36 kilometers out of 42. So you're up there in the training, you have that puff in you, you can get across the line. So I think it's about doing the training, putting the hours in, because it's no small feat. This is several days of hiking nonstop. Your feet are gonna be sore, your back's gonna be sore, you're gonna have blisters on your feet. You're going to stink. So it's not going to be a nice experience, but put the training in. I think it's the best thing you can do. Give yourself the confidence.
Well, Tina reckons I've got to walk every day. That's a bit rich, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you should. I would say walk every day, mate. It's only a small part of your life, isn't it? Like and it's only break it down. It's only a step. So you're only moving your one foot after the other foot after the other foot. It's not rocket science. You just got to put in the time.
That's true.
All right. Well, I've been thinking about walking up some stairs, Dave. You reckon that's going to help me get up those mountains?
Have you got maybe. Have you got a gym membership?
No.
Because you get the stair machines in the gym. The stairs that just keep going round and round and round. You can get one of those things for about half an hour, and you'd be laughing.
Dave, would you like to believe that I actually try to get Mark to walk every Saturday morning at least 12 Ks, and I just can't get him past the coffee shop. I've got to try to get him past the coffee shop and then go from there.
So who? That's not good. Mark. That's not good.
No. All right. What about the diet, Dave? What's your idea about? Because you're a trim guy, you look amazing. How do you keep yourself fit and trim, mate?
Oh, I wasn't in December. I was about 98 kilos in December. I got myself very out of shape. I was just eating and drinking and beering and eating meat and carrying on like a pork chop. And I've just stopped eating and I've just started exercising. So I've trimmed right down. I'm probably the worst person to give advice on this because I'm a yo-yo dieter. I'll put on several kilograms, and then all of a sudden I'll just be like, oh my goodness, look at this. This is a disgrace. I'll shed it all and eat a balanced diet. We eat lots of vegetables at home. We have salads and meat and all sorts of things.
It looks like Julio. I'm going to go around to Dave's place for dinner at least once a week. That sounds like a great thing I've got from tonight. Thanks, Dave.
Just walk there and walk back, and you'll be fine.
Walk to Dave's place. That's right. Now,
how far is the walk? How far is it?
I think it's about 40, 50 Ks we're walking. Not in one day, across 4 days.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it should be okay. That's not
too far. That's all right.
Yeah, but it's the mountains, Dave. It's straight up, that's the problem. But look,
you got back.
Sorry.
I'm bringing up the event. So you got basically Have you got enough details here? No,
Yeah,
it don't actually say.
All right, but look, we need more people to join. Dave, Julio, and I need someone to carry me because Julio won't be able to carry me for the whole 4 days. But and
true.
Dave, I'm not sure he's going to carry me because I'm still trying to get dinner at his place. Now, Julio, what about your tech segment? Are you ready to go with that, mate?
I certainly am.
At the moment.
Have we?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Over to you.
Okay.
It's the Tech Man on the Paul, Mark, and the Tech Guy show.
Okay, so today, basically, I'm going through just one device today for everybody. Just keep nice and simple. And it's basically writable tablets. I'm actually quite keen in these things is because I am quite a doodler and I like writing things on paper. And just for the idea of having something different that it could be useful, I did come across these tablets and they're quite usable. They actually react like paper and they're quite easy to use and they're quite useful in a situation where you need to keep notes and you're going to transfer them all to your computer and everything else. They are quite fashionable devices. And to me, it's the new way of going forward without getting rid of your paper trail, just having one device that has all your information on it. And for people that really want to be interested in these, they're not exactly the most expensive item, but it depends what you're spending or what you're after. But I am interested more in paperless devices for the moment. And there you go. That's the show at the moment. And it looks like.
Have you got one of them, Dave? Have you got one of them?
No, I can't draw. I can't doodle. I'm just I'm a typer. You know, I like to type things, or I do get on the whiteboard from time to time. But you've seen it, Mark. You've seen my whiteboard drawings, haven't you? I get on the whiteboard. Mate. I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I love a whiteboard. You know, I love to. It's very tactile, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I should maybe give one of these a go.
Yeah,
I think so, mate.
To me,
so.
Yeah.
Are you giving them out, Julio, or how much they cost?
How much are they? Yeah, no, I'm interested.
No, it's okay. Between $400 to $1,200. That's the bargain price. The $1,200 to me is a bit too dear, but remarkable to me at the moment is one of the best products out there for those devices.
All right. Well, look, it's been a fantastic show tonight, and I just want to give a big call out to the Mighty Bombers for Saturday's game against the Hawks. I'm going for the Bombers. What about you, Julio? Who are you following this weekend in the footy?
Richmond for me.
Well, you started off very badly.
I know we started off hopelessly, but I'm just giving it a go and see how we go.
Dave, do you actually barrack for anyone, mate, or are you going to just support the Bombers this year?
Do you know what? Like, if I was to support a team, I'd probably support the Doggies, mate. To be honest with you,
the Doggies?
I do like. I'm a sucker for a bit of a working class, team over there in the West, and there's something about them. I don't know. I gravitate towards them.
Well, it's been fantastic.
Is that a bad thing? Is that bad?
No, it's good, mate. It's been good. It's good. It's been great having you on the show tonight, Dave. Any final words for our listeners? We've got a lot of listeners. They're very excited about the food, all the sorts of things we talked about tonight. Is there any final word from you tonight, from yourself, mate, to our great listeners out there and your friends and family, and especially your wife, mate?
Yeah, just stay hydrated. Just stay hydrated. That's about
it. Oh, there you go. Mate, it was pretty hot last weekend. Julio, what's your final word, mate?
My final words is everybody have a great week and enjoy the time you got, and hopefully enjoy this cooler weather down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, it's been great having everyone on the show. Just a little call out. Easter's coming up. You know about Easter, Dave?
Oh, yeah. I love the Easter Bunny. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Well, there's a thing called the Passion Play, which talks about what Easter's all about on Palm Sunday, on Good Friday. So the Passion Play, it's going to be performing at the Holy Cross Centre in Templestowe. I think Julio should be going. And Dave, it'd be nice for you and your family to go to the Passion Play. There's free entry and parking, barbecue chairs and rugs. It's about 2 hours. So maybe Google Passion Play on your Facebook. We'll put a bit more information about it on our website. The Passion Play for Easter helps everyone understand what the real meaning of Easter is. Dave's going to be eating Easter eggs, so he's going to come. He's going to increase his weight, so I'm not going to follow his lead. and we'll be in big training for the Larapinda Trail in July. So, hey, thanks, Tina, for the call out of the great show. Appreciate your comments. Julia, Gloria, we're going to get into training, so thanks for your comment there. We do need to get into training, but really great having everyone tonight. Thanks, Dave, for coming, Julio, and thanks, Paul. Have a good night, and we will talk next week.
Yep. See you later.
Thanks, guys.